national electoral reforms. Elections as vehicles of democratic transformation fortify governance and allow peaceful transitions. After our nation's multi-tier elections on June 24th, we stand resolved to strengthen our democratic foundation, recognizing the significance of deepening our democracy. I have instituted a National Electoral Systems Review Committee to address historical challenges to our electoral processes. Since our first multi-tier elections were conducted after the Civil War in 2002, the electioneering process has been plagued with persistent challenges, including contestations of declared presidential election results by the constitutionally mandated Electoral Commissioner. To address these historical challenges and consolidate our democratic gains, a comprehensive review of the electoral system is necessary to reform Sierra Leone's electoral landscape. The National Electoral Systems Review Committee will comprise the government, civil society, political parties, professional organizations, and development partners. It holds the mantle of evaluating existing frameworks, institutional arrangements, and observer mission reports. Its mandate extends to proposing vital reforms fortifying Sierra Leone's electoral integrity. These actions encapsulate our commitment to forging a fertile environment for dialogue, affirming democratic governance, and fostering enduring peace. Mr. President, it is regrettable to note the decision of certain member states to introduce unilateral cohesive measures, including visa restrictions on Sierra Leonean citizens following the recent multi-tier national elections. We observe that such unilateral measures, which are in contravention of international law, have sometimes been the response to electoral outcomes in other African nations to exert political pressure. As members of the international rules-based community, African states strive for sovereignty and meaningful cooperation based on mutual respect and understanding. In democratic processes, every democracy faces unique challenges. However, the essence of sovereignty, as contained in the UN Charter, is the ability of member states to address and resolve internal matters independently and without external pressure. In our engagement on the international stage, we hope for understanding and mutual respect, especially on important issues like national elections. Constructive dialogue and open channels of communication should be the pillars of our global interaction and not punitive, unilateral, cohesive measures that do not further the entrenchment of democracy, but instead strain relations between nations. Sierra Leone remains steadfast in its commitment to free, fair, and credible elections alongside our dedication to the rule of law. We believe that democratic progress is a journey, and its pace varies from one nation to another. We respect the individual paths countries have taken in their quest for democracy and anticipate the same level of understanding and respect for ours. We aspire to nurture relationships rooted in solidarity, cooperation, and mutual respect, all directed towards a shared global future. Mr. President, Excellency Antonio Guterres, Secretary General of the United Nations, Excellencies, colleague heads of states and government, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, Your Excellency, Permit me to extend my heartfelt congratulations on your auspicious assumption of the presidency of the 78th session of the General Assembly. My delegation and I stand unwaveringly by your side, committed to fortifying the bedrock of global unity during your tenure. I offer my profound respect and gratitude.
We had don't come back today for come talk about things where they happen. Now we on sweet yards and load. Now we on whoa. We left for do them bad things them. We they feel a most and load. Now we on whoa, we had. And if we hurt you, we sorry. We no mean battle, we just want for make we had go before. If we hurt you, we sorry. We no mean battle, we just want for make we had go before. Famble Kushe and Kabo, one say sorry because we start late, but because of one or two other personal reasons. But still want to say very much sorry for that. But because we don't come late, we not waste any more time. We'll go straight inside the program and begin discuss something very much important. Well, inside the program today, as you already don't see from the title, the former talkman for Ernest Bai Koroma, when Abdoulaye Berete, they can join with today, or he don't join with today inside the program. So that we actually can discuss, all of una right now get interest, whether you know APC, you know SLPP, you know good cities, you know bad cities, everyone get interest right now. But waiting, Maada bio talk now the United Nations, or waiting it talk generally now the United States of America. Lots of things the way it make, reference to now the United States, including the town hall debate or town hall meeting, so I go, the interview, and talk about things then. And the United Nations as well, so I talk about lots of things then. So Abdoulaye Berete, they with me inside the program today for like I help you for analyze waiting inside do say a lot of people are not getting own taste. Tall man don't carry, don't put inputs. So now when they come here waiting person maybe don't see them now that same position there as one time. And what I mean, if you don't work out with the former caretaker, then they go and come inside, go, they make sure say it take note of everything. So we can't talk to it today, waiting some of them diplomatic, meeting as what it mean for a country like Sierra Leone. So Abdoulaye Berete, good evening and welcome to the program. And thank you for being patient with steps to this step, even when we're late.
Thank you very much, Sengbe Pierre. And as usual, family and where they watch and listen, are greeting her in the name of Sierra Leone.
Okay, so I know say you don't follow the thing that really happen inside the country. This one are the open now free penalty. As you don't hear lots of things then. What's one of the issues that will catch your attention the most?
Thank you. A couple of things them where Mr. Bio come na the US. The first thing I see some of a propagandists them, they say them say Maada Bio no go come America, etc. Maada Bio self no say before he become president, the moratorium would have been placed on him saying no can America. Himself no say he no be able to come to America. Because I remember 2018, he tried for going to America, he even come to Canada yeah, for use one back road where they call Niagara Falls. Eventually, they don't allow him. He come back to Toronto. Now, where he don't become a president, now in then relax. The US government relax that moratorium where they place on him because of the kind way where he been them, he left the US. So when he come to America, one thing where people they don't know, the United Nations, when they established them after the Second World War, you get people in the charter make them very clear in terms of equality and the sovereignty of states, whereby small country like Sao Tome, small country like Gambia, the same status we then get in terms of membership Now the same country like China get, even though China they as one of the 5 permanent members them of the Security Council, where then they take decisions them, where they also get what they call the veto power. Now that make even military governments then, countries then where they America not even get that, like then Iran, then North Korea, then they still come for address the United Nations. So it is a traditional. I just want to let people clarify for people let them not misconstrue the sanctions the way they impose on Sierra Leone government officials them and people them where the US don't find culpable and wanted because they interfere with the elections in Sierra Leone. Now, Mr. Bio don't go talk a lot. I will still call him president, but I will use the word de facto. Now, a de facto president.
So why choose for use the word de facto?
De facto is because this in second term, it don't assume the presidency under very murky circumstances then. Circumstances then where people still get doubts that they don't win the elections. Now there's still elections, they rig the elections. And therefore, by law, even though in don't rush, then don't go swear in the parliament as president, me go still use the legal terminology of a de facto president because it not become a legitimate president in our country. So I just want to make that distinction they clear, unlike the word de jure, where now by law, like 2018, he come in, then swam in, then confer on him the title of a de jure president. So I just want to clarify that. Now, a talk Boku, where go now the UN, of course. No,
but before we talk about some of the issues that were impeached, you see, some other, head of state, president, and they return at the country right now, but we don't still not go yet. It's on yet because they hope for meet other people and for discuss several things them where you get right too. But at the same time, let me look at the most talked about, MCC, where in 2022, before the election, when he been go na US, where he be even meet with President Biden. The MCC now one of the biggest talk where they come and talk about, but this time around now one of the smallest talk for this government. So tell me, what is some of them meeting here first of all mean for a country like Sierra Leone, a meeting like the United Nations meeting, the General Assembly and other side, presidents can go and discuss issues that we get for the country. Since you've been on the witness some of them things in there.
The first thing is I remember in 2017, President Koroma not be able to attend the UN General Assembly. A foreign minister then, when Dr. Samura Kamara and me, now we is sent for go represent him. The reason why he been say let me join Dr. Samura Kamara, now because the president been get a lot of interviews them waiting for do. Now he say, okay, Benete, you go so that you go represent me and do their interviews then day. So eventually waiting me back do, out of courtesy, I give Dr. Samura the list, let it choose some of them thing and they wait for do the interviews them so that let him delegate to me because he was head of the delegation. So the whole presence of countries and at the UN is you go give you scorecard. The scorecard where you give, people they already know waiting they happen at the respective countries then. So if you go tinap there, you go lie, you they go funny yourself. You they just go expose yourself. If you go say people them na your country, then they get free health care. People them they within the United Nations, you get specialized agencies like UNICEF, where they give updates on the state of their country then they when it comes to water business. If you say electricity, they in your country 24/7, you just they go embarrass yourself because the people the way they go talk to, they already know the state of affairs in your country. If you go talk, say, justice, they already know the state of affairs in your country. If you go talk, say, they prevail in your country, and equality in your country, national cohesion in your country, you they go fund yourself and the people that we go represent. Now that make when I read the president, they make them kind of statements and they I shake me head in disbelief. Because the least you want is to go and contradict yourself. One, you don't celebrate, say, the Millennium Challenge Corporation, when at the MCC, when an institution established by the US government for able to see how then they work with countries them for support them, meeting the benchmarks them of good governance, social cohesion, civil liberties, how it easy for do business in your country, then get the benchmarks them away from it. The most important, one of the most important one them, now human rights. Now that make the outgoing US ambassador to Sierra Leone, David Rema, he make very clear, say, their young government, when at the United States, then they place a pause on the MCC because they get legitimate concerns about the elections, where them believe, say, they're not transparent, and that, of course, there is some explanation where BO in government and the ECSL therefore explain to the world and Sierra Leoneans. And because that didn't happen, now that make the end up for say that they place a pause on it. Even though them they don't go dance already. Remember the First Lady, some other propagandists them for BO, they all don't go celebrate, so they can't get money. They don't even know how that money they go. We don't get the threshold. We'll not be getting compact, but we've been qualified for a threshold when I've been 44 point something million.
So when you just say we don't get a threshold, what that we refer to as we?
I mean like the former government of President Dr. Ernest Bai Koroma.
Okay.
Then and they come very copiously and talk about it. So now it's a low key because how will they go engage the MCC when they don't already pause and the issues that were still outstanding? Instead of Maada come address them, the next thing we do, it do to call in journalism, they try for deflect. Then they come up with very trump-up allegations against the US government for say they call them for letting talk to Kone, the ECSL boss, so that it now will call the results. People not taken serious. The reason why they're not taken serious, we don't know, say, Maada BO, a very notorious, so they make certain statements them, which I can call outlandish statements them. Now the same Maada BO, when August 10, they be end up for demonstrate against them because of bread and butter issues in Sierra Leone, where it not be even then at the country. When it go, instead of investigate first, the first thing we do, it go, it single out the APC as a political party. It say that insurrectionists them. It say they want to make coup against them, where it not get no tangible evidence. Then after it don't make their statements and they, now the time he go establish a kind of investigative committee for let then say let them come. And the unfortunate thing that will happen, Sengbe Pierre, and fellow people, Sierra Leoneans them and friends of Sierra Leoneans, where they watch and listen. The narrative way Maada Biogi, now the same two line and the investigative committee took. We're not surprising. The reason being, almost all of them, they don't come make public statements them for support the president's and a narrative in relation to the August 10 demonstrations. So now that make when the report come on, then bash at it, then dismiss them, then say, but this is not credible. So this is where we are. And Maada BO in day one America, not to just so can't talk to the UN. Not forget, say, until recently, we see a leakage. We should say that we don't even contract public relation firms them. Now the US for can launder the terrible image where the government gets right now. So if you they can, you don't can't tinap na that podium day, you they talk say everything rose in your country. why do you have to pay a public relations firm where you don't expend and spend so much money on? So you see the contradictions in the personality, the statements, and the engagements where Mr. Biode made.
Since you talk about some of his statements, let's look at the one at the US. I think that the university also make a statement. Yeah, when at the university, then the way you go. You know, I would want to know, since you as well get the experience, you get you in terms of international laws, and you as well done the part of diplomatic engagement with two countries. Then, you know what it mean for you see them in public, they accuse one country for something where you say they do not a country, especially for the instance of Maada you saying. Now the United States of America be want them for interfere with the election because they call them and tell them make it put all to the election result. You know, what this can mean diplomatically for a two country. You know, as per protocol, it means suppose or any country get the right for the do then kind public wash then they.
That not a big blunder diplomatically. It's a big blunder. Not because America is the most powerful country in the world, but in diplomacy, we get what we call decorum. If you disagree with a country, all you need for do is you use your foreign minister, it is summon the US ambassador in Sierra Leone, you go, they express the concerns of the government then, for say we very much concerned because the president don't receive pressure from the US government. We're very unconventional under the terms of the Vienna Convention. We cover diplomatic relations of countries between and among countries. So you summon them. At the end of the day, you get the right. If you feel say the ambassador don't go beyond, empowers them, we govern them as an ambassador, we get what you call a persona non grata. You declare them unwanted in your country, and it happened. I remember in 1993, the German ambassador to Sierra Leone, Karl Prinz, he traveled, he go behind rebel lines, where the NPRC say, they no get clearance, and that it don't go beyond the scope of a diplomatic assignments and we bring an Sierra Leone. And the second thing, Karl Prinz, with them at Maada BO and in colleagues them, be arrest we will be then a new breed. That's and they mean a be reporter who publish that diamond story on Strasser. He go visit we where they arrest we. So all them factors and they culminated. Then they Dr. Abbas Bundu, when the Speaker of Parliament, now him be the foreign minister and the NPR system. Eventually then declare Karl Prinz a persona non grata. So that was the expectation in diplomacy. But for let you come, you don't get no tangible proof. For let you come, you display that kind pettiness thing and that kind American university, the forum. I think say now that make.
But a lot of people they say, like Maada yourself say, the US government have not get any evidence against them or against the election for say it not being credible. So, but then come publicly. So if you do public, mistake, then do public correction. That's not exactly what Maada anything do.
Well, the evidence where the US get, me self get that same evidence thing. The owners of the Electoral Commission. A day on the Electoral Commission for giving the disaggregated results. The owners of the ECSL, now the same owners where they get for Kangiwi the results, how they arrive at that for call Maada Bio as president. Now the same thing with the Carter Foundation raised concerns about. Now the same concerns where the European Union raised concern about. Now the same concern, some progressive Sierra Leoneans and civil society organizations, they raise concern about. So the question then is, waiting don't prevent the ECSL, even though we don't get a very serious lawyer like Senge Mara, don't write to the Right to Access of Information Commission for say let the ECSL come with the disaggregated. So the onus is not for me to prove, the onus is for the ECSL, where gets the mandate as provided for in section 32 of the 1991 Constitution for conduct public elections. And the electoral commissioner, they don't come publicly and tell we say, it will make sure say it gets transparent, credible, and reliable elections. So where is the transparency? Why up to this point, una not come out and can give we the disaggregated results them, where civil society organizations like the National Elections Watch, when a very credible institution, don't come up with, where comprises how many hundreds of civil society organizations then? Why up to this point that not happen? So all waiting, Mr. Bill, they ask him off. You know what tell me say, one day you not call the Electoral Commission. That in itself, I mean, they expect for a slide with the I verify for verify that. I mean, they expect even the statements the way Mr. Bill don't can make by all this in turn at the US, may they I verify them so that we will able to say credibility comes with the public statements and who will lead us in for the debate.
Okay, so let's look at this. All of them things here, so we don't talk. Plenty of time then they say, America the benefits from we say the benefits. But they give one word where they can use. Say partner. Partner basically means say, now you put me put, then we make one something. So what's in the benefit where we not say right now, one of the greatest benefits we want from the United States now the Millennium Challenge Corporation and compact we now about $400 or more million. Yeah, so whose benefit where we can actually give to other countries like that and they can get back to it?
Well, Sierra Leone will get a lot of benefit in terms of diplomatic relations. The first one I can tell you, if you go now with Constitution, the preamble made it very clear when you go in terms of foreign policy. The whole thing about foreign policy and how you conduct your affairs then, especially in this age of globalization, how you interact with states in the international system. For instance, one benefit we'll stand forget, we'll get what you call bilateral relationship in diplomacy. That is the relationship where country they get with a single country, that not just them two. Multilateral relationship, if America were a very powerful, now one of the pushers and pullers them in the international system, if they know they see it eye to eye with you, certain things then they will you will need, the party of America will say, okay, well, before I do this, if you America don't get that business there, I need to talk to America first. So at the end of the day, you don't shoot yourself in your foot. And the other party business so they get, not forget saying that the United Nations who can get direct budgetary support to Sierra Leone. Now through the IMF and the World Bank, who can get that support there. And UDA are one of the key contributors into that funding. Now America, of course. So at the end of the day, at the multilateral level, where involves other institutions them and other countries them, in relationship to your party with that country there at the bilateral level, this is sound a little bit academic, but I try for be very simplistic here. At the end of the day, they will say no, that country they in democracy, a human rights record is terrible. And not forget say, not to today it begin. 1989, after the collapse of the Berlin Wall, the wave of democratization and multi-party democracy it came. Sierra Leone are one country where they say, if we not go the multi-party way, would they withhold aid? So we'll not be get choice. Eventually, we'll end up for open the space, we'll come with the 1991 multi-party democracy constitution. Where Maada and his colleagues them, unfortunately, before the 1991 constitution, they even grow, now in they can they make a coup, then put some force underneath. So you don't see, so when you they benefit a lot when you get good relationship with particularly the countries there. Because at the end of the day, you they talk about sovereignty. In this age of globalization, your sovereignty is nothing if one, you're not even able to feed yourself. Why then be they dance where they get the MCC? They say Sierra Leone, they can't turn to heaven. If we be able to get them, take today with you get their state institutions and we will be rely on. Even with military cooperation, where we get with the United States, even though that they continue right now, at the end of the day, if America pull out, they pull all the aid, then it's gonna be a big disaster. Because don't forget, say, America and other countries, them, now then they come together for support countries, them, who call third world countries, them, including Sierra Leone. So at the end of the day, if not, when then countries then they left there on their own, the terrible situation what will happen is the hardship they increase, it creates what you call social revolutions. And then social revolution then they now the states they don't want, now that make them they always go cap at hand for big for aid. And you know that make you get soft loans, where then can go check your budget. Then you see almost money they come from their multilateral organizations like the World Bank, the African Development Bank, and even the IMF. Okay. And who are the key players there?
So what's in this problem when it comes to loan, when it comes for debt, when it comes for let we go for grants and other bigger incident them, we not know about say we na African, we na Pan-Africanist, you know, but when it comes for let them correct we or let them quiz we because of things that we do wrong, and they tell we can begin speak about we na a Pan-Africanist like what Maada say na the United Nation. You know, also I even tell people and say that thing where people and think of say it go end na dream. Right now, not a dream, na reality. As it talk say right now, abundant job day, food security day, you know, equitable healthcare day, and all of them things in there. But why we always they focus on Pan-Africanist when it comes to the wrong part of doing things?
Me believe in Pan-Africanism, and I also not believe in neo-colonialism, way of course they in existence. That is, even though we don't get what you call flag independence, we still not independent because economic independence, we not still get them. Today, we still the export raw materials them, we then go now what you call the metropolis, the Western countries them, then when then they buy them from we, now then they determine the price, how much they buy them. We then done the finished product, they not they negotiate with we. Then they impose them on we using what you call market forces. So at the end of the day, we always then at the receiving end as poor countries then. So I know that theory already about neo-colonialism, neo-imperialism, but you know what? I will just give you a very fine quote. I remember 1958. Where Kwame Sekou Touré they get independence na Guinea. It say economic freedom. If we not get them, we only get flag independence, then that independence they is meaningless. And Sekou Touré, where it take the cue from March 6, 1957 speech, where Kwame Nkrumah it say political independence in itself does not yet mean complete national liberation. So now when I see some enthusiasts, we not even know the details and what it mean about international relations, globalization, poverty in the third world, etc. They say, oh, sovereignty. Your sovereignty is only valued. It's only meaningful if you able look inward. You not get depend by other country then. And you they only cooperate, you able to influence decisions then, now the international system, because your economy is powerful. Even the biggest economy in Africa, winner Nigeria, the second winner South Africa, they cooperate with countries them and the Western world because they cannot do it alone. So Maada Bio for able to understand that. At least I understand, say, it be even read up to master's level, peace and conflict something, now that American university where you go talk. If you're able to know how the international system they operate, you know, we'll just sit down at them public forum the day, you go follow the euphoria because then they clap for you, or you they solicit people and for clap for you, you go make what I can call very elastic and outlandish statements them. Then at the end of the day, behind the scenes, you go begin go curry favors back, say, do you want to help with that MCC day, we will try for improve. Then why you go talk, say you get equitable healthcare? You Maada you dey na Sierra Leone, where you sick, you say you they go for medical na Lebanon. At the end of the day, what you see pictures then you go honeymoon. You Maada who get healthcare system in our country, go na Connaught Hospital, let you go see. I know we can't say that it creates them problem the day overnight. But the reason why it came in 2018 with a new direction, it tell we say it come for the better and people they entrust them with that responsibility. But for after 5 years, you even can't tell we say, you know what, will not be able to succeed with the new direction manifesto. But informer chief minister say inside 3 months, they can make sure say Ufiduna, everybody will be happy. You will see the dishonesty. And if you come, you pull the chief minister, when Jacob Jesus JJ Safa, then you back come, you can't up say everything rosy in your country. If everything rosy, why you they suppress people and for come out for demonstrate, for clap for you, for say, Papa, thank you. Now who they eat, the people and they get cold rest. Morning time, everybody they bed full. Then when people they want come out for go express the way that they feel in the country, you see them as surprised we not even say fairly price, everybody comfortable, me country, everybody happy. As surprised why it not say the rest we don't go close to 800,000 leons, everybody happy where it pass not it, it not get security, people and they clap for them. So when you go contradict yourself, and people they know the suffering where they happen in our country. Where Sierra Leone right now are one of the most unhappy countries then. Now one of the most poverty-stricken countries in the world. Then you they go tin up na that kind of podium day. Then after that, behind the scenes, you they go beg for support. Then you are contradicting yourself. You've not been honest to Sierra Leoneans. You've not been honest to the world. And this is where we need a leadership where they pay attention, we're sensitive to the plight of Sierra Leoneans. Until that happens, come out boldly and say, you know what, my economic policies, them, they don't fail this country. The bank governor don't tell we say them, we don't pump $68 million like the economy, we miscalculate, say, it bribe business people, them. But still, the dollar, they defy propaganda. The dollar will defy propaganda. And one thing we I want to let Mr. Maada know is propaganda will not fix our economy. Propaganda will not fix the human rights violations in our country. People are suffering. Face it, because like waiting Bob Marley say, he who feels it knows it. You know, go tinap, you go read speech in a very flowering way, then Sierra Leoneans and they in darkness. Sierra Leoneans and not get water. Sierra Leoneans and they suffer with transportation. The fuel price, they go up uncontrollably. At the end of the day, you get the audacity. You say you're not president. You they go tinap, you they go crazy, I can't picture it. Now just that some of we, who for don't say, well, you know what, anybody will call we for say, Brad, we are support me small, are they bad? I will say, but when our president say everything, okay. I not go send penny for nobody. But because you know say, you're not honest to Sierra Leoneans, we go continue for compliments people and suffering by supporting them.
So most of the time, when the leader they lie, they want them already near when advisor, when a writer them, we can consider saying that they all don't lie. Because a few years ago, it tell the same United Nations say every person where in Peking they go school they save $500 per year. Now it don't can tell we say they get enough food in the country, they get enough job na the country and all. Where it promise 500,000 job, Tena is not able to provide 250,000 of that 500,000 job where it promise. But yet still they tell we say we get enough job. I listen to somebody again at this platform will be the interview now at the Korea's program. He say yes, all what Maada Bio say he don't do, what he talk na the United Nations. Yes, he don't do them. You know, even when he not do all, but yes, he don't do. So I don't know how they see this, you know, because if you tell the international community say all of this done possible, then we don't need help at all again. Then we need for the give help to somebody else we need that.
Then we don't need for celebrate say we don't get a compact for the MCC. We don't need it. We will tell America, say, you know what, thank you. The MCC, we don't need it. We are very okay. We are self-sufficient. I have managed the economy to the point that every Sierra Leonean is happy. So give it to another country. But we all see the jubilation around the MCC. And now the same people then they jubilate and clap. But you know what? I can always tell people then, sometimes when you know they feel, where you not go na Juba Bridge, you go see how young people then they take kush. Then they tell you say they're suffering. The girls them where they go do sex work, how then they take advantage from them. So man they go sleep with them, then they thief their money back. If you just walk out by Aberdeen Beach, I witnessed it recently. At the Waka day, you see young people and just in so like zombie them. Then they take kush. Some of them, I engage them as a social worker as well. I say, what's going on? And they tell you, say, I have no future. I don't see any glimmer of hope. I am suffering. I'm a graduate. I don't have a job. At the end of the day, my situation is I even live on the streets. I became a daily hustler. So Maada Bio for able to understand that the rosy picture where they pay, then people and you owe them an apology because they are not happy. I talked to a couple of people because for me, I believe when they come to any media platform, I for they in touch with Sierra Leoneans and for know what is the thinking there. We all see how people demonstrate now, Kenema, where they increase the fuel. If they're happy, they not go demonstrate. Now jubilate, they go jubilate for Maada Bio. We don't see how people then they walk on the streets, they talk by themselves. They have no hope, no future. And these are the very people where you want come na street for let and come tell Maada Bio say things are not right. Things are not okay.
But Maada Bio, now this same America University tell people them say right now justice inside the country na part of you bath, you know, you birthright. He as well tell people them say, you know, protest inside in a part of democracy, and as long as you do them the right way, freedom of speech, nothing we assured inside the country right now.
Well, freedom of speech, if he assured, in the constitution. Section 25 in chapter 3 of cap 6 of the 1991 constitution is very clear that the right to freedom of speech, as long as you not trample on the right of others. But that space must be created whereby people can vent the way they feel about the government. And that is democracy. But you don't narrow the space. You don't shrink the space. Then kill somebody like Evangelist Samson and McKinney. You say, oh, they're saying a crossfire when they interview. You know me, sabi this guy, but the police and saying a crossfire. Then kill somebody like Arata when you own somebody where una be the pamper for good do violence. In less than 24 hours, una say una don't arrest suspects. Evangelist Samson, not to Sierra Leonean. The people and where you troops them, bodyguards and go kill Napademba Road, not to Sierra Leoneans. The people and where they go kill McKinney Tombo, Tonko Limba, not to Sierra Leoneans.
Not to Sierra Leone.
People and where they kill August 10, 2022. Waited today, the families and they pan cry, then they pan suffering. Then not to Sierra Leoneans. Then you they come publicly they tell we say justice then at the country. Where Matron Dumbuya, where you bodyguard them, then go kill na party office, APC party office on the 25th of June 2023. Not to Sierra Leonean.
No, but IG say that Mami they never died.
What about Ishmael Dumbuya, where Unagona Mama Street, where APC polo, broad daylight, then firearm, not to Sierra Leonean? What about people where somebody will get mental health challenge, like Blacker, is una say it cost the president. They say it cost Mr. Maada Bio, the Ola, instead of the Kelan go na a mental facility, they can go before the justice system. Is that what you call equitable justice? You know, let people then left or trivialize the serious issues they more they talk about in that country. And you know what? Everybody is going to be held accountable. Mr. Maada Bio, today you enjoy security. You get all the bodyguards them. You get presidential guards them where they use face mask them, where they commit atrocities them, let them not see them face. But when you go down left power, you become an ordinary person. You go able to walk at the streets of Sierra Leone without bodyguards. You go able to go mingle with Sierra Leoneans them proudly. Left, karma day. Karma not the wait stay people then die. Who no say right now, you dey in that glamour, you get security them, you get tank them, when they pass na fleet on the say na war. But I can always say, sit down and reflect. We don't see leaders them, al-Bashir them, we don't see Muammar Gaddafi them, we then get one of the strongest military in Africa. Sudan then get military jets them. We don't see a place like Burkina Faso, the president then gets military jets them. We don't see Niger. And most of them presidents there have been getting the opportunity for me to them through Dr. Ernest Bai Koroma. I know how humble they are, I know what the people feel about them as well. Why you know be a humble somebody when you get power? Because the Chinese philosopher then say, when you claim you use the ladder, no broke that ladder day. Because that same ladder day, when you go meet you get for candle. This now free lesson for you, food for thought. If you listen, you will say, Berete Toka, not see me as a member of the APC. Proudly I am, but I give you this as a free pep talk based on my own experience in leadership and the people they want to interact with in the world, including presidents and head of states. And remember, when we go to Zimbabwe with President Koroma, we sit down with late Robert Mugabe, the pep talk we he give, I end up for learn a lot from there. A lot. When we go Egypt, we sit down with a guy when I'm in the former military Al-Sisi. We get meeting with him. We then they talk. And now one opportunity where President Koroma gave me, he always they call me, where is my spokesman? I they sit down, I they listen, I learned a lot. So some of them things there when I share with you, not say because you gain and the power, you hold the gun, you get bodyguard them, then same bodyguard them day. Tomorrow, but then you say, this man and I they sell we for go kill people them, they don't abandon me. And the ICC is watching. So just take this as a free pep talk.
All right. In other words, na free lecture. You know, they pay anything. If you say a word for a wise, it's quite sufficient.
It's quite sufficient. Yeah.
You do so, but okay. So let's talk about something. Now with the see protests that happen all over with regards this, and with the see results and they come out. UK don't do the 1, 2, or 3 term. America don't do the 1, 2, or 3 term. Brussels, you know, Holland, different side and the way they don't do. And I'm pretty sure Canada said we don't do, because I remember one time in the way somebody reached out to me from Canada, but unfortunately we'll not be able to follow them and do something for them. So I want to apologize to Unana Canada because we'll not be for sure. But what thing they happen right now with regards, you know, all of them protests there. So because when the freedom of speech, freedom of assembly, association, not visible inside the country, people like Sierra Leoneans them from the diaspora, they actually take that lead now for take and pass the message where the people them inside the country want for pass. But Canada themselves they come up with their own Toronto, right?
Yes, we get we own demonstration at Ottawa, where would they go meet with the Prime Minister in office, Dana Justin Trudeau. It will be on Monday, the 25th, Dana next tomorrow.
Okay.
We all they converge. And the interesting thing is, not to just Sierra Leoneans. This it go beyond party politics. You get people them even inside SLPP. We then say, una know what? We na SLPP, don't get us wrong. But the things that way they happen in our country, we they identify with the suffering of Sierra Leoneans. We they identify with the human rights violations and where Amnesty International and US State Department publish, no say they are factual. Would they commensurate with the issues that we don't happen? Now, Pademba Road and other parts of the country, where then they kill people them, and nobody has been held to account. So they say they will join for Guna Ottawa. Some of them already done dinner Ottawa over this weekend for engage the government and other state officials. Then just to drum home the point, saying if una they see a picture where Maada they say things are rosy, we are not happy with the state of affairs in Sierra Leone. Elections have been stolen. The Electoral Commission is not accountable to Sierra Leoneans. He has not been transparent, and we are overly concerned about the human rights violations in Sierra Leone as well. So Maada one tell we say, all the demonstrations there where they happen, from the Hague, from the UK, from Central Europe to the UK, to Canada, to the US, now New York. So then people they are all now happy, they're not happy no more unnecessarily with them. These are genuine Sierra Leoneans. These are genuine friends of Sierra Leone who believe, say, we can be better. From that day where the First Lady go pronounce, say, anybody we come, we oppose this government, we oppose Maada not to true Sierra Leonean because he not belong to SLPP. And he go publicly, he say, you know waiting, it look like say the only answer we're gonna give to these people would they introduce mob justice. Can you imagine somebody saying such words in a democracy? If na country like here, Mr. Bio no say, he no gets no reason for continue for say, he go even contest the 2023 elections. If I don't relinquish power because it don't compromise issues of human rights by in statements. I know they compare here and yonder because we own democracy now is very matured. Look now, the premier now, we own province now, Ontario. It just go give something green belt to people them. The people them, the ministers them, way associated with that decision, they don't resign. At the end of the day, when people they demonstrate against Maada in New York, they go to the people and we they jeliba for them. We then they talk the sweet things for them and they go. When we be the come to New York, where the Renaissance movement, where EU anti-corruption boss, where you appoint right now in Sierra Leone, where then they demonstrate in Sierra Leone, they go meet them, we talk to them. Where they come to New York, we they go meet them. We say, hey, we are hearing your cries. We don't hear you now. We don't read on our placards them. Then they talk to them, we engage them because we are not seeing them as just SLPP. We also see them as Sierra Leoneans. And that is leadership. And that is the leadership where somebody for extol. So, but here, this guy is very divisive. Even when he gets people, they demonstrate against them. And they go to the people where they demonstrate for them. So, in essence, na person who can call a narcissist. They only believe people there for Batuam, for telling the goodies them, the things that we want to read. And when a leader no want to read the criticisms, then you have no reason being a leader. Because you, not to a leader, will feel safe for no all. If you can't get that kind of disposition, then you are bound to fail. because even people the way they extol the thing when they call the philosopher king, therefore no say the king as a human being, he gets in own flaws until people speak truth to power. If not, Mr. Madabio, the day of reckoning will come, whereby the documented atrocities that we don't happen in our country, we they make sure say people are held to account. That is the bottom line. You don't arrest people then go to jail for some time. The next thing, you left them. Yeah, people, they sue your government, then they get compensation for illegal imprisonment until we test that kind principle in our country. That time, if the judiciary not get the mind for declare some of the actions of the president ultra vires, which means beyond the scope of power when the constitution give you, that make you get for create the civic space. Let people then calm them, vent out, make them know, you will able to know the pulse of the people then. Not to just what you teach we, now you for know. We forget a voice in a democracy, and you should subject yourself to be held accountable. That is leadership.
But with all of them things here, so Marabio still they say in the leader or the father of democracy inside Sierra Leone. So all of them things here, so you don't be part of them. But the only thing no more, if anybody want to do anything, you know, you get for do it responsibly. If you want to criticize, you get for criticize responsibly. Even if free speech, you get for make sure say when you talk, you're able for give you know evidence to that particular thing. If you're able for defend and not for just they come and talk and quell other person in your name.
Well, you know what? Father of democracy, I don't know who Maada be pull that thinking there. Democracy in our country not start 1996. If somebody been there in the world today, when a late Joseph Saidu Momo, Imbago claims saying a father of democracy, the reason being, even though he acquiesced himself to global demands and pressure, at least he introduced the 1991 Constitution. We guarantee multi-party democracy, we kill the one-party state in our country. But you don't ever claim that title there. If you can make coup 1992, then you make a counter to coup against your boss. Then you say, in your latter speech, you even can't tell we say, you know the reason why you wear green, because you be the fed for SLPP. Then una come, una establish the National Unity Party, NUP. We know all that history there. Then we go into a Bintumani one conference, where Strasser say in they go ahead with the return of the country to multi-party democracy, because then time don't done. Then you make that coup day, then you can't say, oh, you know what? Would they get first peace before elections? Then we come will tell you, say, no, peace is a process. It is not a one-time event. Would they go into elections? Then we continue the peace process through the democratically elected person where they come. You say, no, well, the best thing, law we go back into a been too many to law worry from the people then. Then they make some efforts for change the list originally, where the people and we go been too many one way endorse it for going to elections. Pass way people like then Zainab Bagura, then Julius Spencer, some of we come under civil society umbrella, we pin or foot say no. Or for make sure say the same people then we can't be too many one, now then forgo. Eventually, the result was the people that say we forgo into elections. Maada Bio not been get no option, he get for eat humble pie. And how can you be a father of democracy? Because the people that say for all elections, then you go publicly, you say you know go guarantee the security for the people then. Eventually, we talk that's what happen. People then begin where they go for go vote, then they cut their hand them. Then they give them long sleeve, then they're not the ankle yard and they cut. Is that something you want to say you are a father of democracy? Sometimes we get for set this record straight. Now that make a film where Professor Jimmy Kande, he go na AYV, he go challenge the world and the country for say it is very dishonest for let people they associate and that it is very dishonest for if Maada Bio don't ever give himself that title saying a father of democracy. It sets the record straight. We're not different from waiting and they tell you so. You know, law will speak truth to power. Let people they not can feel saying I can't tell you saying I mean the best brain in Sierra Leone. Who's put that thinking there? Why should I feel that way? But these are the hallmarks of narcissism. When people then feel say, you know what? Everything for revolve around them. And we'll stand to challenge them. Not because we are in the opposition, not because we are APC, but even on an academic lens to set the record straight. Because the young people them who know what made them come contaminates them thinking, when then they go with the thinking, say, oh, they say Maada Bio father of democracy. But when they listen, who challenge that kind of hypothesis, they go say, oh, but people they don't talk or they say it's not. And these are the reasons. Let us tell me, say, with all this narrative, I don't give, and this man still qualified to be associated with even democracy. And even when he assumed presidency in 2018, look at all the things that we don't happen. Can somebody who is a father of democracy preside over the killing of innocent Sierra Leoneans and nobody is held accountable? Can somebody where people they even talk, they arrest them? Can somebody they become so divisive in the midst of a national disaster as evidenced in the August 10, 2022 demonstrations? Where you go give people away then kill policeman them civic funeral, the other one them body then they perish na mortuary. Where them people they go for go claim they say no, they not give instructions set. Is that the kind of leadership you want to preside over in our country? I think say let us start to call things in a smart way as they are, because until we speak truth to power, we speak truth to power on the judiciary, civil society, the media, the political class. Imagine you go pull, you suspend somebody like Lara Taylor Pierce. Now, how many years now, today, you know, able to give me no clear-cut response. You defy all the people, them, the respect to that woman can, you say for what you call a malfeasance. You use one big word, and then they write them for you, now so they go talk them. At the end of the day, you accuse that woman. Now, true say, you no get receipt. State House give me fake receipts them when they travel. That is a fact. You say you go meet debt na Japan, BAM hotel bill. That again a lie. Why you will still continue say you want to be a leader when they come, then they bust you with a lot of lies? Where is that coming from? Is that the kind way you want for represent Sierra Leone, the green, white, and blue? And the worst of it, they can't turn up an international forum like the United Nations. They can't give that kind of picture of a country where the people and where they can't talk to, they already don't do the due diligence. Because every country, a member, where within our foreign affairs, would they get situation reports. That is why they get ambassadors and high commissioners, and sometimes when they get consular offices them all over the world. And they get ambassador plenipotentiaries, we then they give a situation report now all the countries them. So you want to tell me say we go talk to them people here, then they clap for you, they don't know what they go in our country. They don't know say Pademba Road they kill people them today will not get reports apart from the correctional service they report. We need independent and law we take governance serious. Imagine you say in a father of democracy, you don't day in 2018 to 2023. You not ever touch the Constitutional Review Committee report for let you come to them because then you get the minority in parliament. Then this time, because you don't work with Kone, now you say, you know what, we want come for revive the Constitutional Review with the view say you will come for let you come do things then because you feel say you get majority in a parliament. Well, stoutly so. Civil society and other constitutional lawyers were concerned about the sanity of a country. They don't come out stoutly and eloquently for say, Mr. President, that is not the way to go. You cannot come with a review when we still have the cloud of political uncertainty on Sierra Leone. I think say if not possible they listen, I think say they don't pause that one day for now.
All right, thank you very much. We don't come to the end of the show for today. And anything the way we don't left out where maybe you want to touch on quickly before we go?
They say, in a very long time, and no one they see demonstrations against somebody when a de facto president where they go all around the world. In my recent times, I've never seen it.
But this again is say, because people don't want for get a chance for work, instead of people go campaign or do protest na salon, then they go campaign and protest na United States or other side and bulk the money where then for benefit the country from like the MCC money, for example.
How people then go campaign, where in West Fatima Bio don't go Kailang, he don't go tell people and say APC not even get the rights for go even put a poster na Kailang. How we able to go campaign when going to Kono and Kenema, then they go and block APC convoys, they're not able to go. How we able to go campaign when the same security officials them, way of course, then they go for go send tear gas under Dr. Samura and Kamara in Motoka for Kilam, na mile 38 way come on at the US. If they go Kono, then go send tear gas back. Is that not an attempted political assassination? So how we go able to go campaign aside them where una can go aside them where we can say na APC strongholds, una they go campaign they freely.
But again, the defense when they put in that area, they say that because the APC not being prepared, they're not planned, and they put the house together. Now that's me. Maada campaign and nearly all of the chiefdom in the country.
Well, in fact, and they look forward to the opportunity in the future, whereby when presidents and then are power, when they want to go campaign, they're not for you states motocadem. They're not for you state fuel. And they look forward to the time when democracy will be matured.
Yeah, but you know, say this.
I remember we on time, I will tell you, say, yes. I remember when President Koroma be they go now 1 or 2 places then, some ministers and they use their official motocadem. They tell them very clearly for say, hey, this campaign is not a state function. This is about the party. If una want for come, we're able to get motocadem for Leona come. Eventually, we'll see say the government motocadem disappear. So that is the kind of thing we want for in our country. And that fuel business. Look what happened in the ministry, now the Auditor General, now Ministry of Finance. Then go suspend people them. The other one is send they go na Bond Municipal. They accuse and saying that they give Africanist press information. Because the staff them where did it, then they pay them 10.7 million loans. Then the new people them where they recruit, when then your hand picks people them, then go put them, then they pay them 23 million. So you they see the first people that they already get the experience. You know able for increase their salary. Where there is raise concern, then Africanist press publish something just by coincidence. That day they don't raise a concern. You end up for go suspend them. You send on the Bond Municipal Council. You pull in a Ministry of Finance. Then you even suspend them from work without pay. And you they go to now the UN. You they talk say yes. There is some equitable economic freedom in our country. Maada be left. Tell you people they made them left. When they write you speeches, them read them. Cross things the way no say not to true. Because then they fact check you. And a very embarrassing way they fact check you, they say you lie. So if not serious countries them, I verify. Then go come and fact check the president, all in, and the de facto president, all his statements the way don't make for bring out the truth. So the demonstrations then again are a further testimony say we're not happy the way things and they go in our country. People are waiting at the Western world and they demonstrate, then get the option. Then go sit down, then they get electricity, then get water, then get job, even if they not get work. That thing way then they eat, they not get for suffer that kind way. But for let them come and speak truth to power to you, that tell you say they are genuinely concerned. And at the same message, we they take as Sierra Leoneans to Ottawa, would they go engage the Prime Minister Justin Trudeau and in government for tell us say things are not rosy. And we know Canada play a very important role in Sierra Leone, now the Peace Building Commission at the United Nations. They, Sierra Leone and Rwanda, are two countries them, where them be the support now the UN Peace Building Commission for let them not go back into chaos. But now we see all the hallmarks of that, and therefore Canada is well positioned for listening to the concerns of Sierra Leoneans as then they happen in the country.
Right. Thank you very much for where you join me inside the program today. For let me discuss some of the issues there. As always, we appreciate your time with we. It can be very much educative at all times. And we look again forward for another fruitful discussion as things then they unfold inside the country. Thank you very much for joining me inside the show today.
A pleasure, and thank you for this opportunity as always.
All right. So I want for beg Una, please today will not take call because I want for apologize. I want for confess. I'm really tired. I've engaged in something very tiring and stressful. So I please need for go and rest now. So I beg you. Tomorrow by God in power will come, we're going to take calls and discuss issues them again we get for the week country. I know so every time people want for discuss, but not today. Please at the big, yeah. Okay, so until we meet again in another beautiful edition of a program we'll call We Had. My name is Ernest Bai, the freedom fighter. God bless you, country Sierra Leone, where we call We Had. I'm out. Thank you very much. God bless you all.
Excellency Antonio Guterres, Secretary General of the United Nations, Excellencies, colleague heads of states and government, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Your Excellency, permit me to extend my heartfelt congratulations on your auspicious assumption of the presidency of the 78th session of the General Assembly. My delegation and I stand unwaveringly by your side, committed to fortifying the bedrock of global unity during your tenure. I offer my profound respect and gratitude to your predecessor, Mr. Saba Kurusi of Hungary, whose depth stewardship of the 77th session is a guiding beacon for all. To our esteemed Secretary General, Mr. Antonio Guterres, your dedication to weaving together the strands of global consensus for battling poverty, planetary crisis, and championing sustainable development goal is a testament to your leadership. Mr. President, the soul of Sierra Leone, echoing the spirit of Pan-Africanism, resonates with the clarion call of this year's theme: rebuild trust and reignite global solidarity. A testament to our enduring democratic spirit was showcased on June 24th, when in free, fair, and peaceful multi-tier elections, the Sierra Leonean people elected their leaders across various tiers of governance. My re-election as president for a second final term serves not merely as an endorsement of my leadership, but a solemn testament to my government's commitment to fashioning a Sierra Leone that thrives as a united, peaceful, and dynamic bastion of hope and opportunity. A nation where our aspirations for abundant jobs, food security, quality education, and equitable healthcare are not mere dreams, but manifest realities, where justice and opportunities are not mere prerogatives of a few, but the birthright of all.